Better late than never, am I right? Holy cow, did this one take a while to make, or actually just to get started. There's been a lot of things going on in the intervening months since May, but I finally got around to it. So here is my 2019 CTWC Experience, Day 3. The last day of the CTWC, where we would get to watch the top 32 players compete to see who would be crowned the champion of 2019. The thoughts of not making qualification yesterday disappeared and didn't matter. I just wanted to get to the convention center right away so I could meet up with everyone again and watch some amazing Tetris in real life. When we got there, they were forming a line of all the people entering the convention center, which once again was a lot of people. The only issue with this is the strict time schedule that the CTWC is always on. Usually you see it run all the way to the end of the convention.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much once again for coming out to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo 2015.
Tetris for Jonas is coming back.
Your 10-minute warning. In less than 10 minutes, we have to close the hall doors and we have to stop all vendor sales.
So after a while of standing in line, we start to see some of the CTWC crew members come in and announce that any of the players and family of them need to make their way to the competition room. Just then, Steve, the creator of the Goofy Foot controller, who is also a crew member of the CTWC, starts pulling us and some of the other fans out of the line so we can make sure we were there when the CTWC actually started. Steve is such an awesome dude, so please, if you haven't already, go support him at Total Red NES. He sells all kinds of Tetris merch, NES parts, reproduction controllers and consoles, and of course, his Goofy Foot NES controller. When we got there, they were hurrying to set everything up, making sure that they could get started as quickly as possible. Doing the traditional picture of all the contestants on the main stage and getting them to sign a CTWC 2019 banner.
Say Tetris!
All right, Tetris on 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, so while we're all standing, let's remain standing because now our very own Sergio Elizondo will be playing our national anthem.
Me and my parents took this opportunity to get some good seats picked out, and saved one for Sharky since he was up on the main stage. After that, it was straight into the top 32 matches, starting with Ben Mullen versus Matt Schoolmaster and Paul versus Alan.
Neck and neck!
You stop that.
One of the craziest moments that I didn't even realize until rewatching this footage was that two of the veterans got knocked out of the tournament right around the same time. It started with Jeff on the side stage and then Svavar on the main, with all three matches being won by younger players. I realized that right here marked one of the biggest themes of the year, the shift from the old guard to the new players at the tournament. While this is definitely monumental, Not too long after this would mark one of the most historical moments of CTWC history. Paul Tessie, aka MegaRetroMan, had been playing NES Tetris for a while now, and would make it out to the 2019 CTWC to compete for the first time. Winning his first match in the top 48 landed him a spot playing against Jonas Neubauer. I remember when Batfoy's match ended, both me and Sharky were anticipating the Batfoy vs Jonas match. However, like many other viewers, we were extremely surprised with the outcome, and I think the footage speaks for itself.
2 more lines will do it for MegaRetroMan. Can he do it?
1.5 lines.
Everyone in the room was surprised, me included, as Jonas is realistically the face of the CTWC, with him making it to the finals every previous year. A year with no Jonas in the finals just seemed extremely off. Though, Paul greatly deserved this victory with the work he put in, now being praised as the Jonas Slayer and creating one of the biggest upsets in CTWC history. And it was really cool to get some Jonas commentary right after, which we never get since he's always playing in the tournament. Paul would end up having to face Batfoy, one of the new younger players at the tournament, who was surprisingly using DAS. Not only was he using DAS rather than hyper tapping, but he was just as good as the many pros who have been playing the game for a decade. He ended up beating MegaRetroMan, and right after we offered one of our seats for him so he could get a good view of the matches. Yes, I got to sit next to both Batfoy and Sharky when watching the CTWC. Pretty cool. Dan was able to beat Chad, but Alan just wasn't able to keep up with Terry on 19. I was really hoping that Alan would get to play Corion in the top 8, but Terry did a great job in sealing his spot. Once the final bracket was made, it was apparent that this would be one of the best years ever. Joseph vs GreenTea, Batfoy vs Matt Martin, and many more amazing matches to start. Joseph vs GreenTea was everything I expected and more, with both players going at each other and not giving up on pace. GreenTea kept up with Joseph's aggressive hyper tapping and did exceptionally well with DAS.
Josh is also Tetris ready. Looking to get up the score. Fires back with a triple.
GreenTea's trying to figure out a way.
With both players seemingly playing their best, inevitably, they would perform the first double max out match in CTWC history.
Joseph is taking the lead. We're coming to game.
The room went wild, and it was an energy that just couldn't be matched. It was sad to see GreenTea accidentally miss DAS and lose Game 4, but man, did he do an amazing job. Dan QZ won his match above, which meant that we would get to see Dan face Joseph, a match that I'd been rooting for from the start of the bracket. But before that would happen, we had Batfoy vs Matt Martin and Corion vs Terry to watch. While Corion was able to quickly sweep Terry, Matt played extremely strong when versing Batfoy. They ended up taking it to a decider, and in the end, Batfoy was able to secure the win, creating yet again another anticipated match, Batfoy vs Corion. 2 extremely awesome matches back to back.
to Danju's team to win to stay in this.
And just like that, the final match was set. Corion versus Joseph. Ever since Corion lost to Joseph back in 2018, he's been putting in a lot of practice into the game, playing in many CTMs and winning the Masters tons of times. With this increase in skill, myself and others were wanting to see a rematch, and what a rematch it was. Both players were playing really solid against each other with little difference in their scores. But what was really cool was seeing Joseph interacting with the crowd. He lost the first game, but that didn't really faze him. He kept on playing the same, just having fun with his builds, but keeping it clean at the same time. The crowd was having so much fun watching these games unfold, something you have to be there in real life to truly get. It was really crazy though when they were stacking the exact same. Even at one point making two slightly different decisions that still ended with their stacks being the same. Continuing to play like this led to their scores being literally identical the whole time. The whole place was screaming with laughter and enjoyment at such a rare sight. The players were just having so much fun as well, which made the situation even more of a blast. In the end, Corion accidentally topped out right before transition, and Joseph was able to take the decider. But really, the fun of it all was just being there to take it all in. Being part of the audience was amazing, and I can't be more thankful that I was able to be there. Especially this year in particular, because I don't know how it could be any better. After Joseph was congratulated and got his trophy, the floor opened up and everybody just celebrated. I seriously don't think I can express my love for this community enough. It is such a fun and friendly group of people that is a pleasure to be around. After the ending celebration, we learned that like every year, they were doing an after party. When we got there, it was the perfect ending to the event, with everyone hanging out, relaxing, and having a good time. They had a console TV set up with Super Nintendo Tetris, and GreenTea was just demolishing everyone. My only request would be more drinks for minors, please. Sadly, it was just getting really late, pushing close to midnight, and I just couldn't stay any longer. I wish I could have soaked in the moment just a bit more, because it was fantastic. I just miss it so much, and am really upset that 2020 CTWC just couldn't happen in real life. This event just means so much more to me than anything else. Thank you everyone who's a part of it behind the scenes. You know who you are, because if it weren't for you, then this wouldn't be a thing. All I could hope for is CTWC 2021 to be in person again. But if that doesn't happen, no matter what, I'll see you there.